Today we're tackling the neck. The neck, the traps, the levator scapula, everything that's causing all of our stress and our tension right up here into the shoulders that you all are dealing with. Whether that be sitting at a desk and leaning forward, whether that just might be life. But either way, we're going to tackle all this stuff today with 3 easy exercises that you guys can do at home. Very first one is we're going to create a little bit of tension into the levator scapula. So spin 180. So we have levator scapula that's connecting into the occiput of the skull, connecting from here and working our way down to the shoulder blades on both sides. So we get a lot of tension in here, especially when our shoulders are rounded forward, especially like that. So this is lengthened, it becomes weak, it becomes overworked, and our goal is that we want to have more of that better posture, more upright, getting the balance between the front and the back side of the body and getting these back in line so they're less stressed out. So what we can do for this is we're just going to put our hands right on the top back part of the head. So almost like right behind the bun we can tuck in, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to stand tall or sit, choice is yours. We are going to pull the head back. So imagine the chin just going in this direction. Good, I'm going to move you slightly like that. Good. So now that we have tension, we should be feeling this all in the back of the neck, kind of going down between the shoulder blades, maybe in the mid-thoracic. We want to squeeze the glutes and we want to tuck this pelvis slightly forward so we can get those abs kicking in. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to tilt that chin down while keeping the head pulled back. Nadine's going to create pressure on the hands of pulling into the head. At the same time, she's creating resistance to push the head back into the hands. Now, we're not going so hard that the body is literally shaking to the point where you're burning the muscles out. But if you do get a little shake in that body or shake in those muscles, that's good. That's the change in adaptation that we want. So just enough pressure to feel these muscles kicking in, but not enough to the point where we feel like we're having an incredibly hard time. So with that, pressure pushing in, head is pushing back into it. She's going to nod or tuck the chin, roll the head down. And then on the way up, she's driving the head into the hands, creating the heads pushing into the head and trying to look towards the sky. Bring that chin all the way up while we're moving that head back. We want to be careful of this rib flare, so we want to tuck that down in there and then work that back down. So she's going to go down and up while maintaining the head in a back position. Go until you feel like you can't go any further. You should get a muscle pump. We should almost tire the muscles out in the back of the neck. You might ask, why are we, relax Nadine, thank you. Why are we trying to tire these muscles out if they already feel weakened and stretched? Well, we want to tire them out because we're trying to promote the blood flow around those muscles. What we're also trying to do is get them to work. We're trying to tell the body, build that mind-muscle connection that says, hey, when we do this movement, we want to make sure that we're using these muscles properly rather than the position that we're in. In general, we always say it takes 300 repetitions to create a faulty pattern. It takes 3,000 to correct that. Think about that. So if you get injured or we have tension and we change the way we do something, if we do 300 repetitions of that, it now becomes more of the normal pattern. It'll take 3,000 to reverse that. So knock these out, especially if you sit at a desk a day. Usually in general, we say 1 minute of mobilization or activation per 1 hour of sitting. So keep that in mind. If you're sitting for 8 hours a day, you have 8 minutes to go and do something. Take an extended bathroom break, hit a minute in there. So if you go to the bathroom every 2 hours, spend 2 minutes mobilizing. Your bathroom break is now just 2 minutes longer. You're going to add those 2 minutes on there. So that's the first exercise we can to get that neck feeling, moving, and mobilizing. After we get done with that, we're going to put that head into a band. And with this band, we're just going to go in one direction. So the band is going to go in the same position, but we're not going to be nodding the head down and up. Or nodding, is that the right terminology? Is it nodding or is nodding left to right? I don't, just the up and down. You're saying yes, so we're going to be saying yes. She could actually lean into this pretty good. So she could lock the lower half of the body out. So extend those knees, squeeze the glutes, keep the core engaged, and slightly lean back and pull that chin back. So this band is actually holding her in this position, right, Nadine? Mm-hmm. Cool. From here, we are going to push the chin forward and back while we keep that body leaning back. And what that's going to do, once again, is if we have forward neck, if we have, text neck or forward head posture, which is that position she's in right now, this is going to help realign. We're going to pull this back, kick these muscles in, and take that stress off the front muscles, the flexors, which are doing too much work. We're going to work through this as long as we can. Like I said, we only need to really do one set as long as we get that burn. And if we don't want to do forward and back, we're going to hold it back here. Yep, maybe we're short on time. This is a good one. Keep that chin tucked, body nice and tight. Keep that head back as long as you can. We're looking for that shake, that adaptation of the muscles, and then we're going to relax. Good. Finally, we're going to do a shoulder exercise. Why are we doing a shoulder exercise? Well, with that shoulder, especially if it's rolled forward, this is going to be all long, extended and weak. And what we want to do is kick the shoulder muscles in that tie right into the traps and tie into the levator scapula. So if we put in some shoulder work, we can actually relieve a lot of that tension into the neck. A really good one that I like is to lean against this upright. We're going to have those feet slightly about 2 feet away from there, and we're going to lock in that lower body. So we're going to extend those knees so the quads are firing. We're going to squeeze our glutes, create a little contraction into those abs. And then we're just going to have the natural arm bend. So if we just have a slight arm bend, that's fine. If you want to keep the arms straight, that's okay. But in general, we want to be cutting that body in half. So sometimes we're bringing these up here. This is going to work more of that front delt versus if we're coming out to the side here, we're going to get that side delt, which is going to tie into the trap, and it's also going to tie into that levator scapula, okay? So she's just going to do some side raises here. And we like having that lean because now we can kind of get a little bit more out of that shoulder raise, and when we raise a little bit higher, we should be feeling this kick in as well too. One thing that I would be aware of, if you notice that her wrist is slightly tilted down, we want to square that out and raise that up as well too. We could be feeling more of the movement happening in the forearm because we're used to using this and not this. So when you're raising this up, I want you guys to be thinking about the shoulder lifting the weight up, not the wrist and the forearm. So we're going to try and remove the burn off the forearm, try to rely a little bit more on the shoulders. When we come down, we don't want to come down to the point where it's hitting the body. We want to keep that muscle under a little bit of tension the entire time. So we're just going to kind of hover it out there. What she's doing a good job at is that control and that speed, that time and tension. We can go a little bit faster on the way up, but if you notice on her way down, it's very controlled and it's fighting that resistance, and relax. So try those out. I would knock out 15 to 20 of those side raises. Keep it light, 2.5 pounds, 5 pounds. Heck, grab something out of, grab a water bottle. You can do side raises with that. You can pretty much use any object around the house. It doesn't need to be a weight, anything to put in that position to get that in. So quick review. We've got the head up and down, that we're pulling the chin back, up and down. If you want to get crazy with that, you can do that same thing, go right into that. And then we could also slightly rotate the head and go up and down as well too, to get specifically on the left and right side. We have the banded chin pullbacks that we're going to be doing. We're going to lean that body into it. And then finally, we have those side raises where we're leaning against that wall. Try them out. Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you like our stuff and we're worthy of a subscribe, tap that button so we can make more content like this. Thank you.